In this video I'm going to be giving you my initial feedback on the Hoka Mach X after my first run. What is up everybody and welcome to our first impressions, our first run feedback of the Hoka Mach X. We've got a new super trainer on the channel today and I want to let you know my initial feedback after that first run. So super shoes are here people, and I think they're here to stay. Now this is a perfect example of a daily trainer, the Hoka Mach 5, that's taken some of the technology from this, the super shoe that is the Rocket X2. So what we've got here is the sort of best bits of the super shoe chucked into a daily trainer-ish framework to give you some of that technology that exists, but to put it into a shoe that's more versatile and you can use across your sort of, well, your week of running. Right, so let's do stats and features, then we're going to come on to the things I do like and things I'm sort of not that fussed about after this initial run. Okay, so starting out, let's look at the bottom. We've got this, zoom in there, we've got this rubber outsole, strategically placed bits of rubber, which is very similar to what we've got on the Rocket X2. Then we've got this jacquard mesh upper, which is nice and which is a nice feeling upper. The shoe doesn't necessarily fit true to size. I'm about a 9.65 in Hoka, which is really annoying, but nothing I could do about it. So I'm sort of 9.5 here, but I probably could get away with a sort of 10, but then it might be too big. See what I mean? Weight, we're coming in at 264 grams, no, 274 grams, 160 pounds. The biggest thing here though is the foam. So we've got the PEBA based foam here in the Rocket X2 and they've carried that over to the Mach X. So this is the first sort of non-racing shoe that has featured this PEBA foam. We do have a plate in here. We have a P-Bax plate, which is basically a plastic plate running through the shoe, and that's there with the PEBA foam to give you that propulsion. Shoe's got a 5mm drop. I'm not sure on the stack height because there's nothing on the official Hoka website. I've seen 31mm from one website and I've seen 36. So actually, I'm not sure on that. Let me know in the comments if you know the stack height. Okay, like I said, it doesn't fit true to size, and the other thing which is kind of interesting is it's pretty stable. Right, okay, I think that's it. Do you dig the colour? Let me know in the comments. Right, let's move forward and let's talk about the things I like and the things I don't like. Okay, so after this initial run, we was dipping in terms of paces. We got down to, I think, about 750, 745, something like that. And so it was like easy down to sort of hard, I would say. And the shoe performed okay. Now I had high expectations of this shoe because of my love of this shoe. Now this shoe, I PB'd 5k and I PB'd half marathon in this shoe. So I was really expecting this one to blow me away. But to be honest, it didn't. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily a criticism, it's just my expectation levels were so high. Now what do you mean, FORDY? Now the PEBA foam's good, it's responsive, it feels relatively fast. It doesn't feel as springy as I was expecting. I don't feel as much of a roll through or that feeling of ultimate speed that I do in the Rocket X2. Now, I know I'm not expecting like to blow the doors off in this, right? But I was expecting a little bit more in terms of that feeling of speed. But I didn't necessarily get that. Now that's not a bad thing because this has to cross over a little bit, right? So we don't want an absolute nutter like this. We want something that can do a little bit of everything. And to be fair, on this run today, it was able to do most of the stuff I chucked at it. The outsole did well, although it's very dry over here in the UK at the moment, and the upper was very breathable. Like I said, it felt stable, there was no issues with stability, it laced up nice. I've mentioned the problems with but the issue in terms of the sizing, so just watch that. But I didn't have any heat spots or anything like that in the shoe, and it just felt comfortable and a nice place to be. But overall, I was a little bit, well, be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with the ride because I was just expecting so much more from it. And that's the thing with these super trainers. I want a super trainer that I put on and I feel quick in, and I want a super trainer that I can back off a little bit and still feel quite comfortable and competent in it. I think this is close to that, but the issue I still have is that in the sort of back of my mind I'm still thinking about the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, which to be honest can do what this is doing, and it can probably do it a little bit better. Now that's not to say I'm being negative on the shoe, because look, I've done one run in it, right? So what do I know after one run? What we're going to do is we're going to put some more obviously miles through the shoe. We'll try and get this into a race if I can, because I think these super trainers need to be able to do a race. They need to be able to do longer runs. They need to be able to do those tempo sessions and some of the slower stuff, because they need to blend through, because that's what ultimately the Speed 3 from Saucony does so well. Yeah, I think the initial feedback is a little bit disappointed, expected a little bit more, but I think they're on the right track. Does that make any sense? So look, I wouldn't necessarily rush out and buy it. I think there's probably plenty of options out there currently at the moment, and I don't want to tell you either way just yet whether this is really the shoe that can light you up in terms of partnering with this. So let's just maybe hold off for a little bit. Let's get some more miles in it, because I'm a little bit on the fence, which I think I'm allowed to be right after first run. So yeah, let's just wrap this up. So Hoka Mach X, I like the idea, I like the feeling, I think it's a good shoe, but ultimately I was expecting more. I was expecting that absolute feeling of speed, which I didn't necessarily feel, but maybe I'm looking at it slightly wrong. So yeah, I think my expectations were probably set too high. I need to bring them down. Let's get some more miles in the shoe, and then we'll come back and let you know. I suppose the best way to describe it is, has it improved? Okay guys, so there it is, the Mach X. Personally, I don't necessarily dig this colourway, by the way. But yeah, I definitely need to get more miles in. And that's the thing with these first impressions videos. I don't really like doing them because it's very hard to get a formulated opinion after one run. But you know what? It's here. I want the views. Thank you very much, YouTube. But yeah, so let me come back. Let's get a proper review on it. But at the moment, I'm a little bit underwhelmed.